What's good, guys? I just wanted to talk about the Xbox presentation. I know I'm really late when it comes to talking about this, but I've just been working pretty much every day and just been doing a bunch of, I don't know, real life things. So it just kind of got put into the back burner, and I'm still pretty much doing some of these things. So I'm making this video as a quick, as a quickie, right? As a quick video, so that I can get my thoughts out there. You guys can know what I'm feeling about it, and yeah, that's it, right? So let's just get on with it. So like a bit of background is that I've played the original Xbox, so I've played Halo and that sort of thing. I've never really owned an original Xbox. It was one of those things where I went to like a friend's place or a neighbor's place and played it through those means, right? I never really owned it. But what I do remember is falling in love with Halo at the time. And I thought Fable was like amazing to me at the time. Mind you, at that age, I had never played Elder Scrolls or any massively large RPGs. So for me, Fable was like this kind of really cool thing. The closest game to that would be Zelda, since I grew up mostly Nintendo and a little bit PlayStation. I did have a PlayStation 1, a PlayStation 2, a PSP, that sort of thing, and I love those systems. But when I went from the PlayStation 2 to the PlayStation 3 generation, I kind of switched. I didn't get a PS3 because I felt like not a lot of the games really appealed to me, but I knew Halo, Fable, and all those kind of games were going to be on the Xbox, so I got the Xbox. And you know what, I have no regrets when it comes to that, because I loved my 360 and I loved playing a bunch of games that were on there, and it was enjoyable. I really enjoyed it, and I really enjoyed my time with it. So going into this Xbox presentation, my thoughts was kind of like, I want to see that love again, right? Because I do own every system. I own my Switch, I own a PS4, I own an Xbox. So, I do want to see each of these consoles do well. So when I see games coming for the Xbox Series X, what I'm essentially looking for is just games I'm going to play. I care very little about visuals in general, and most of my favorite IPs come from Nintendo anyways, so when it comes to Xbox, I'm kind of just looking for the few IPs that I know I like, and maybe a new IP every once in a while, and that's kind of it, right? When it comes to PlayStation, I typically look for the Japanese developed games, because I personally don't find too much enjoyment out of their Western games, but that's neither here nor there. So let's just get on to the Xbox presentation, right? So it started off with Halo Infinite, and wow, dude, like there's a lot of talk about this game, both in the positive spectrum and like on the negative spectrum. Like it seems to be a very divisive gameplay reveal. And I've seen that screenshot that everybody keeps using of the Brute that just looks like Gorilla Grodd or something. Like the Brute just doesn't look the best. But like I said earlier, visuals were never something that like made me want to play a game, or maybe not want to play a game in a sense. I think art style is typically something that interests me more rather than like graphical detail and fidelity and that sort of thing. So there's that. So judging purely based on the gameplay front, Halo Infinite looks fun. It doesn't look like the most, top of the line game, but I enjoyed seeing what I saw, primarily because of the way Halo 4 and 5 were, where they just kind of stacked on a bunch of features that nobody asked for. They stacked on a bunch of things that nobody wanted, really. And while I'm sure there was some people who enjoyed those games, it seems like the general consensus was that people kind of wanted Halo like it was back in the day. Halo Infinite looks the closest to that since 343 took over Halo, right? It looks like it's going back to basics, where it's mostly the normal Halo formula, with the only real thing that I'm seeing that looks drastically different was the hook, grapple hook thing that Master Chief had. And honestly, that doesn't even look like a bad addition. It looks kind of fun, actually. And I like that there's an open-ended mission structure to the game, just like the original Halo. So as far as I'm concerned, on the gameplay front, it looks good. It looks like it'll be a fun time, and I actually do look forward to playing Halo Infinite. And when it comes to the visuals, like, I'm not really somebody who's a big stickler for visuals, but I believe like there was a gameplay trailer they revealed on the side that already looks better than the gameplay demo they showed, which is a weird decision to show the gameplay demo if it's like an earlier build or something, because that just comes off as like, why did you choose to show that off instead of like the gameplay trailer? You might as well just have shown the gameplay trailer instead. And then you have, like, I think they confirmed there will be like a ray tracing update patch down the line when the game releases. And I would have preferred that at launch, but I guess like it is what it is for the people who care a ton about the visuals. That is something to look forward to, I suppose. Personally, I don't really care. I just want to play the game. It looks fun to play. And that's kind of it for me. In terms of other announcements, the Medium looks kind of interesting. I don't believe that's an exclusive by any means. I'm pretty sure that'll end up on PS5 and like other consoles down the line. It's kind of like the kind of game that just looks interesting on a technical standpoint, and I think gameplay wise it has potential to introduce some interesting ideas. So I'm interested in it. I'm not gonna say hyped. I'm gonna say I'm interested because I don't really think there's anything in particular about it that made me ultra excited other than like the potential of what it's showing. And I think in some cases that's enough for me. I think Control was a game that, because of the developers behind it and because of like the way the game looked, it kept me interested enough to want to purchase it, and when I did, I loved it. So I'm not expecting the Medium to be like that, but I think it has the potential to be like that. And if it's good, it's good. If not, then oh well. Moving on, there was a few games that was interesting, primarily because I like the developers behind it. But they didn't really show anything. Like Avowed from Obsidian looks like Obsidian's take on like an Elder Scrolls style game. And considering their success with the Outer Worlds, I expect it to be good. Although I don't think it'll be like 10 out of 10 amazing, because I kind of thought something like that would happen with the Outer Worlds, especially after they developed Fallout New Vegas, which was a very good Fallout game. And the Outer Worlds was a really good game. It was one of my favorites last year, but it was not to that extent that people kind of expected it to be because of the hype from Fallout New Vegas. So I'm not quite sure if Avowed will be, a game that is better than Elder Scrolls. Like if it'll be the Elder Scrolls killer. But regardless, I do trust that Obsidian will make a very good game here, and I do look forward to it. I just wish we saw more gameplay. And that also kind of applies to the game Everwild from Rare, because both of them kind of showed what the game is about, in a sense, or like the general setting of the game through like a CGI trailer. But I'm not really big on CGI trailers. This applies to both Xbox, PlayStation. I don't even remember Nintendo doing it very much, but like anyone, it doesn't matter who the company is. I'm not big on CGI trailers because while it gives me an idea of what the game is going to be about or what the setting will be like, it's not really the game, if you get what I'm saying. So I think Avowed and Everwild are both games that I have an interest in, mostly because of the developers tied to it, more so than anything else, right? I think Avowed, because it's made by Obsidian, will be exciting, and I think Everwild, if it actually looks the way it does in the trailer, cool, I guess. I like the art style. Like I said, I think art style is more important to me than like graphical fidelity, and I think Rare made a very pretty looking trailer there, but considering we don't even know what that game will be like, I don't even think we'll see that for a long time. Same thing with Avowed. And yeah, I'm not really thinking about those games. Maybe when they're closer to release, I'll keep an eye on them, but for now, no. I'm not gonna think too much on that. And then finally was the last announcement being Fable. They announced a new Fable. I was excited to see that they're bringing it back, period, right? I could see why some might be wondering, like, oh, they just showed a CGI trailer, why would you care? Yeah, that's true, they did. They just showed a CGI trailer, and we don't even really know the final name of the game, because damn well it's not going to just be called Fable. So yeah, that is disappointing, but at the same time, to me, it's almost similar to getting an announcement like Metroid Prime 4, where we didn't really see anything, but just knowing that the company is, you know, trying to keep that alive and making a new entry is nice. It's nice to have that confirmation. It's nice to know that when Lionhead Studios went under, Fable didn't go with it, right? And I don't know if it'll be good, but I really do hope it is, because Fable, I love Fable. Fable was just a lot of fun. Leave it at that. Fable was just a fun, comedic RPG, and while it's not the best game franchise ever, I do think it's something that will keep me wanting to play Xbox or PC, right? In that sense. Yeah, that's kind of it for you guys. Those are the games that kind of stuck out to me in some way or another. Everything else I either didn't really care about, or I just don't have too much of an interest in. So let me know how you guys felt about it. Let me know if Halo looks fun, if you've ever played a Fable game maybe. Let me know in the comments down below. But until then, I'll see you guys in the next one.
Shifty, yeah, Shifty, wanna be the #1 gamer, come and get me. It'd be dope if you subscribe, could you like the vid please? Take your time, you don't gotta do it swiftly. Shifty, Shifty, wanna be the #1 gamer, come and